hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And today we are so happy to be here with you to do another installment of our buddy read of My Girlfriend on Webtoon. By excited, I mean I'm terrified, but I did it anyways. So we're glad to have you all here.
I'm excited. You were terrified.
Yeah, I was terrified for most of it. Mostly, we had this discussion about how the art kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat because they look terrifying the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's true. And so I feel like the entire time I'm like wincing and kind of like looking from the side to make sure that it's not going to jump out at me.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a thriller. You would never mistake this for anything else. Like, you could, if you took specific scenes from Garden, our last buddy read, you might think that it was a happy story, not a thriller, not a scary story.
You might even fall in love with the killer.
You might even.
You could fix him, maybe.
Maybe.
Who's to say?
But you can't fix anyone in this story.
No, they're all fucked up. And so that takes us to episode 11. We'll be discussing the next 10 episodes of the series today. And honestly, I say we just hop in because it's a bit of a wild ride.
Yeah, it is.
We open up immediately on episode 11 with Geo realizing that he did witness Yeren dying.
And by witness, I think he means killed.
Yeah, like he sees the blood on his hands. He's still like, I blacked out just magically up until like, okay, she's dead now.
Yeah.
So it's insinuated he did it, but he's also like, did I do it? And he's like, I don't remember doing it. I didn't mean to. Then he realizes that somebody also witnessed this. And who was it but Miho, the crazy girlfriend?
Yeah. She's been there all along.
She's just kind of the root of all the issues, I feel like.
This does take care of your theory that they're the same person, because we now see that the three of them went to high school together.
I'm not saying I always have the best theory.
I'm just putting it out there for the people.
We can put that theory to rest now. Thank you. You didn't say it with as many words, but we all agree I'm an idiot. Geo wakes up in the hospital. He is really just startled at the fact that Miho is right next to him. Mm-hmm. And all the police are checking in on him after a crazy person broke into the building, murdered a bunch of people, and attempted to murder him too. You find out like, oh my gosh, what possibly made her snap? She's a judo star that, you know, competed for our country. And what would possibly be her motive for killing 14 people and injuring Geo to the point of hospitalizing him?
Yeah, so the police, not very helpful at this point. Also very suspicious.
They're always covering everything up.
Yeah, they're talking about covering this up.
Yeah. And weirdly, they're trying to see, they're like, oh, what does this guy remember?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's okay, he doesn't remember anything. They actually write down that he's an unreliable witness. Mm-hmm. So they're not too concerned about him, which honestly is probably for the best. If he were on the police radar and also on everybody else's radar, it's just one thing to add on to the pile.
I'm not gonna lie, these police officers don't seem like the best at their jobs, to the point that I think it's probably to his benefit that he's unreliable.
Yeah.
Because they could just maybe go collateral damage and kill him.
I think so. I think that that's what they would do.
I don't put it past them.
Actually, I mean, they did kind of say that that's what they would do, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Well, I missed it.
They talked about, like, maybe they were gonna kill him to take care of the only surviving witness. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, no, he's unreliable. We don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that happened.
Well, never mind. Did I even read this story?
I don't know. I can't say because you were reading in the corner.
I had to charge my phone. Okay. So, yeah, Geo is just like, he bumped his head. He was like falling on the stairs, or they caught him like just as he was about to get mauled by this pipe or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we don't have to kill him. He's unreliable witness.
He's got a concussion. He's kind of crazy already. We already know that he has schizophrenia from the previous episodes. And does he really? We don't know. But
yeah.
The doctors say so.
Yeah, I mean, the jury's out on that one. But the weirdest thing is that while he's in the hospital, the police officers are like, oh, let us bring you some food. And so they bring him this shrimp porridge. And they're like, oh, it's great. You know, it's from like the best place in town. This is their specialty. He's like, sorry, I'm deadly allergic. Can't eat it. Totally. Like, just, I felt the camaraderie there.
Yeah.
It's not great having a deadly allergy.
I was wondering at this point if he was just saying that because he didn't want to eat anything that the police gave him. I'm not sure if he's as suspicious of everyone that I am, but I'm suspicious of everyone.
I'm sorry. If you were in the hospital and you were just almost murdered and the police were like, here's some food, would you be like, it's laced with something?
Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't under normal circumstances, but knowing that my girlfriend is a monster and knowing that Ireong was there with the guy in the back of the car with the clothes on top of him. I mean, there's just a lot. It's not just that he got in this situation and the cops are just on the up and up.
Yeah, the fact that he can eat it all is honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So they offer him the shrimp porridge. He says no. And then Miho shows up to the hospital and also brings porridge. And she's like, okay, beef or shrimp? And she's like, I think you prefer beef. And he's like, why does everyone keep offering me shrimp porridge? And truly, 2 out of 2 people that you see him with, they've offered him shrimp porridge.
Yeah.
I mean, it must be a specialty around here.
They say that this is like the finest food around, so I mean he's being a little ungrateful by
Yeah. Why wouldn't you eat it? You're already at the hospital. Just go into anaphylaxis and have the good ass porridge.
I mean, if you really want to try it, it's the perfect time.
Honestly, there's no better place to try. Yeah, I can understand after the trauma not wanting to go through that again. So in any case, he does have the conversation with Miho. She offers to be there for him. She's like, come stay at my apartment. You know, I'll take care of you. You've been through a lot. And he's like, I need space.
Yeah.
I need some time for myself. There's been a lot happening, which is an understatement. But it at least allows her to, like, leave, give him the space that he needs. And he goes literally crying to his mom after being released from the hospital, like knocks on the door. He's like, I need to stay with you.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be with you.
Yeah.
And then won't tell her what happened.
I mean, you would think that I mean, I guess, I don't know if people would know that he was in this in this incident.
Who was his emergency contact? Miho?
Probably.
Why wouldn't you switch that shit?
I mean, would that really be the top of your list if all of this is going on? You're like, okay, wait, I gotta take care of my emergency contact right now.
That's fair. But it's all over the news, too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is, didn't she see the news and see that?
He's not a minor, so I would assume that his name would be in the news,
That's
too.
what I thought, yeah. But either it's not or she doesn't pay attention to the news. We also see the police are having their own little side discussion at this point. And our police officer from last time who was dealing with the car with the suicide victims in it, who I don't think are suicide victims, actually.
No.
He is still having to deal with that, and he is upset because he's being looked over for a promotion again. So, I mean, I feel bad for this guy.
You know what? Okay, I'm throwing a theory out here. I think he's going to get so upset about it. He's going to do his own digging as to what actually is happening, like start asking questions. And he's going to be our person who, like, all the monster, you know, like, stuff. He's going to go, this is what's going on, and he's going to be the actual catalyst for trying to, like, kill the monster.
But who is he going to go to?
No one.
He can't go to his
He's going to do it
superiors.
vigilante justice style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doing it alone.
All right. Well, I mean...
He's going to get that promotion.
Because he'll be the only one left after all the monsters are gone.
Exactly. So Gio does go home. He's there with his mom. She's, you know, trying to make sure that he's taking care of himself. And when she asks what's happening, he said, oh, I fell down the stairs.
And she kind of blames him for it.
She's like, you're super clumsy.
You're kind of an idiot.
You were literally in a coma for 6
months.
For having a pot of flowers dropped on your head.
Yeah, haven't heard that one before.
You know what, though? That's not clumsy. That is just a freak accident.
That's true. Like, okay, falling down the stairs, maybe clumsy.
Falling up the stairs.
All right, let's call me out on that one. It was raining.
It was one time.
And these stairs were notorious for being difficult.
They were actually notorious stairs, which sounds ridiculous.
Whenever I told people what happened and I said that it was at these stairs in our college, people believed me. They were like, yeah I get it.
Yeah. In case it wasn't clear, Alex definitely broke her wrist falling up the stairs once. So I just had to throw that out there.
I did have to call my mom, and like my mom came with my grandma and we all three went to the hospital, so.
At least you had a little fun time.
Yeah, the three of us.
Nice little party. But yeah, the mom is pissed. She's like, you were in a coma for 6 months for having a pot of flowers drop on your head. Now you're falling down the stairs.
You need to get your shit together.
Yeah, which, I mean, he does, but she doesn't even know the half of it at this point. And so she's just like, you know what? Stay here. I'll make you food. You'll be fine. And then, you know, we'll make sure to take care of you and get you better. Which he agrees on. And he lays down in his bed and he's just thinking about everything. He's like, what in the world is going on? Mm-hmm. Why do I have these memories of high school that I can like kind of piece together, but then magically I'm just there standing over a dead body? Why was Miho there? And he's starting to think through everything. He's like, is everything real? Am I actually schizophrenic?
He's also starting to have conflicting memories because now he's remembering that he didn't go to this high school, which he previously was remembering going to because it overlaps when he was supposed to have that coma. Mm-hmm. So I am not really sure at this point which memory is right.
Yeah. Are any of them right?
Who's to say?
Maybe he is just actually crazy.
But he is holding on to one hope, and it's the fact that he still has that phone, which we don't find out until the very end of these 10 episodes that we're reading what's on the phone, but I was very happy to find that out.
Yeah, I would honestly, it was a breath of fresh air for me. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But we have wanted to know what's in that notes app since, episode 2?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was about time.
And you find out in episode 20.
Yeah, it was about time. But you do see him kind of remembering being in the hospital in the coma. He's like, the falling flower pot, what the heck is going on? And I missed so much time, and I didn't end up transferring high schools because
I dropped out of high school.
Yeah, I dropped out of high school, and that's where I met Miho for the first time. Mm-hmm. Except, was it?
Yeah, because
she witnessed me murder somebody, maybe?
How could she have witnessed me murder someone, maybe? But also I met her after I dropped out of school that I maybe didn't go to. So you can see that he's confused.
Really? Yeah, he's not doing so great. But you do see that Miho supposedly met him as like a private tutor because they both dropped out of school. And as they were working on schoolwork and things together, he kind of got closer with her. And even though they both weren't like really connected to anybody, their age, anything like that, they did come together because they both liked each other.
She also kind of says some weird things at this point where she is thinking that everyone else at the school is starting to act weird and she doesn't feel like she belongs there anymore, and that's why she dropped out of school. Mm-hmm. And that's pinging my she is a monster. I mean, I know she's a monster.
I'm like, yeah, it wasn't all of the terrifying panels and all the episodes leading up.
Well, that could have been his schizophrenia. I mean, this could too, but...
Yeah, it could be. Just making up memories. I don't know if that's how it works, though.
I don't think that that's how it works. I don't know.
I mean, who am I to say?
Yeah.
But he's very confused at this point. Doesn't really know how he met Miho. But he's like, okay, I remember these two different, almost timelines.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one is like a reliable source of memory for me. But his dad and his mom come home. They're like, you know what? Just like sit down. You're obviously not well. Let's get you fed. We'll have dinner and just relax. And then Gio's dad asks, oh, what's for dinner? And the mom goes, oh, I'm making salt steamed king shrimp.
At this point, I was like, his parents are not his parents anymore. They have been replaced.
I know, me too. His mom, like, half turns around. She's like, yes, I forgot that you were allergic to shrimp.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'm like, nope, they're replacements. They're pod people.
Mm-hmm. And the dad is like, you know what, Gio, let's just go for a walk. We'll just, take a walk around the block, a little stroll.
So while they're doing that, we find out from his dad that his mom actually has early onset Alzheimer's, which explains the shrimp. But is that true?
Here's my thing. So in reading the episode, they're doing this walk together, and I know you pointed out like it could just be like a knowledge thing of not knowing the difference between the two, but the dad switches from saying she has Alzheimer's to saying she has dementia.
Yeah.
Which are two different things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not even a consistent story in the short walk that they've taken together. So the dad is suspicious.
The dad is suspicious, and I think that he's trying to explain it away. But I do also think that it could just be that people often think that those are the same things.
Yeah,
So
it could be.
It could go either way at this point. Although later on, I do kind of go back to my being suspicious of absolutely everyone.
That is very fair. I will say the one thing that I did notice too is that the dad is like shaking when Gio is like, did I ever go to Hanguk High School?
Yeah.
And the dad's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So he doesn't want him to remember the correct past, I'm guessing.
Yeah. But why?
I don't know.
And is Hanguk the correct past?
Maybe not. Maybe he is just concerned that his son is remembering things that he didn't, like, go through.
I'm not going to lie. If my children came up to me and they're like, how was it if I attended XYZ school and they'd never went there? I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't feel like it would ping a radar.
While we see all the conversations happening with Gio and his dad and his mom trying to kill him with shrimp, whatever else, you do see that Miho is back in what I assume is like a dorm lounge or whatever.
Yeah.
And Iriang approaches her and says like, hey, I have people coming out with me tonight. Let's go out, have dinner and drinks, get your mind off of everything. And even goes as far as to discourage Miho from seeing Gio.
Yeah, by saying there's nothing you can do right now. Maybe he just needs a break and he's with his parents. So, like, what are you going to do? Be his nurse?
And she's like, kinda.
That's kind of what I was hoping. And you know what? If you were in a serious relationship, I feel like you would just want to hang out with that person.
Probably. I mean, look at two best friends when one of them gets their tonsils removed. You gotta be there at each other's side.
The one with the removed tonsils brings the other one soup to work.
Feels a little backwards, but it's fine. But Iriang, again, is looking like really suspicious.
Yeah.
Not so much from a monster standpoint, but from the fact that she's got two people waiting outside for her.
She is the monster hunter ringleader. This episode convinced me of that, if nothing else, because she asks to borrow Miho's phone, and she takes it out and gives it to the guys to, I don't know, I'm assuming like download all of the content from her phone to copy it somewhere else. No, it was they're putting a bug in it.
Yeah, they were putting in a tracker.
Yeah, so they're putting a tracker in her phone because her previous phone was broken and no longer is tracking her anymore. And then she is upset that Miho does not go with her plans to go hang out with these guys. And she cancels the plans with those guys once she realizes that Miho's not going with them.
Which kind of pisses them off.
Yeah.
To be fair, they're like, hey, ready to go get dinner? And she's like, sorry, had an assignment. Goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, her two bodyguards are still with her, and there's just something going on there, so.
Yeah, automatically fishy. Who knows? But Miho does kind of turn everybody down. She's like, no, I can't go out with you guys. I'm sorry. Like, I have other plans. And Iriang's like, wow, she's really going to go and find Gio. Like, I did such a good job at convincing her. And you see that Miho doesn't go see Gio at all. actually.
No, she does not.
She goes and finds herself it looks like she finds herself some arm candy. Like some guys out at the bars.
I'm not sure that I would call them arm candy.
Well,
At least the one who was like, I'm just here to look for any girl. Any girl will do. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about you. You feel a little creepy.
I mean, he felt creepy.
I mean, I know Miho's a monster, but I have some standards.
You know, the guy who's trying to get some. What a fucking creep. But in the meantime, that monster, heaven forbid, she has a guy who's trying to hit on her. So Miho ends up taking these two guys back to a motel room. She has one of them leave for a minute to like grab some drinks. It seems to be like, oh, let's set a mood. And the guy is way too willing because he thinks he's going to get some action out of it.
Yeah, I think they're both kind of reluctantly accepting that it's both of them or neither of them at this point.
Yeah, they're like, great. That wasn't really what I signed up for, but maybe if I get enough drinks. So yeah, she's like, oh yeah, we'll have some fun. And she sends one of them to grab all the drinks and everything for them. Mm-hmm. So when the guy comes back to the motel room, he's like, hey, where's my buddy? And she's like, oh, I sent him out to grab something too, but like we can have some fun while he's gone. Let's do this. And she leans in, and I will say, as creepy as this panel was, it was really kind of almost comical to me.
Yeah.
But you see the guy just leaning in, eyes closed, ready for a kiss. And you just see Miho's face like open up with like all of these tentacles. I'm trying to think too, like it's almost like a lamprey mouth.
It is, yeah.
With like all the teeth and everything coming out of it. Like she's absolutely terrifying.
When I got to this point, I got to it before you, and I was very excited for you to get to this point.
I don't know, just something about him puckering his lips and leaning in for a kiss was really funny to me.
Yeah, but I mean, look at her eyes.
Yeah. The whole panel is absolutely terrifying. If you've been reading this story along with us, you know that the body horror is pretty crazy.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not the word I would use. It's great at creeping you out. But then Miho realizes that Gio is calling her, so she just answers the phone.
With blood all over her mouth and clothes.
You know, how you answer the phone. So you do see that Gio's really struggling to kind of process everything that's going on. He's like looking at old pictures of him and Miho, and I think he's just reluctant to believe that she's this monster that, I mean, really, there's a lot of evidence pointing at the fact that she is one.
He's so conflicted about it, though, and he's having all of his problems with his memories, so he's just really struggling. And he calls her to ask her a question, and during this call, Miho finds out that Gio does remember some things because he mentions that she saw him kill Yeren before at the high school. And so she's like, oh, you remember that? You're getting your memories back? This is great. We need to get together so that I can like see what you remember. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, tell me now. And she's like, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to
leave you in suspense.
Leave you in suspense. And then she gets a knock on the door, and she thinks it's delivery that the one guy has ordered. Mm-hmm. But who's at the door? Iriang.
Yeah. Immediately, Miho is getting tased and is knocked unconscious, it seems.
Yeah.
And Iriang is really there to find out who the victim is in this whole mess. And Iriang definitely knows that something went down. There's a new monster potentially joining the crew. So they're trying to keep tabs, really. But as they do all of this discovery, you see that the guy that we thought is dead is like twitching now.
He's not actually dead.
He's not dead. His eyes are rolling around. He seems somewhat conscious.
We also see at this point that he's conscious, but she's telling him, okay, you're going to get your memories back. Start thinking about your past memories and just hold on to those. And don't call me mother. That's weird. Or mom. Don't call me mom. That's weird.
Yeah, they do instinctually, I guess, search for their mom, which I assume is the host.
They're baby ducklings.
But Miho, too old to be a duckling.
Quack, quack.
But you do see Miho incapacitated. They get out of there. And really, like, she's pretty fortunate that they didn't find the other body.
Yeah.
Because there were two people.
It
but
helps
Iriang
her.
didn't know that.
Yeah. But there's also the panel where Iriang goes to the guy who's not completely dead and says, I am your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So is she just a different monster?
I think. Okay, so here's my theory in it.
Okay.
So Iriang and her group of friends,
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to avoid becoming monsters. She just found a vulnerable monster who was in the process of transitioning.
Oh.
And so when they're looking for somebody to lead them, she's like, yeah, I'm your leader.
So it's like one of those cute situations where the duckling is hatched, but it's not. It doesn't see its duck mother right away. It sees, like, I don't know, a cow. And it's like, this cow is my mother. And then it follows the cow around.
Yeah, this ain't cute, though.
But you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right? The
no.
odd animal couples. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. No, I have seen, I know, like, generally the idea that you're talking about. But I think it's just Iriang's way of, like, if I can become the, like, leader source for some of these monsters,
Yeah.
she'll almost have her own monster clan to go against the other monsters.
Yeah.
So maybe she's, like, trying to build up an army, almost.
Monster versus monster.
Monster versus I mean, what's she supposed to do?
Yeah, that's fair.
She'd just get turned into a monster herself.
Miho does end up being able to escape being captured by Iriang and her two goons.
Mm-hmm. Her two goons.
Her two bodyguards.
Yeah.
And it's because there's the other monster who's already called her mom that's in the bathtub. So he's already connected to her. And we see at this point that she can kind of control them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's telling him, remember your name, how old are you, and we're just gonna have you settle in really nice, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, remember all your old memories. Oh, and also, here's a video of Gio. You need to protect him at all costs.
Yeah.
Which then just kind of, like, brings to mind, you're like, okay, is she literally just brainwashing these monsters to protect Gio? And that's why he has no idea what's going on.
But everyone else seems to.
Yeah.
That could be.
So, yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. But Gio and Miho do end up meeting out in town. And she's, again, acting completely normal. Says, like, oh, let's grab a bite to eat. He's like, we need to have a conversation, ma'am. Yeah. Like, where have you been? And so they end up going to, like, this comic book store, which, a complete aside, this comic book store has, like, these little, like, lay-down cubbies in it. I don't know why that doesn't exist here.
Put a beanbag chair in there, and it would be perfect.
I'd never leave. You know what? They do it because we would never leave.
That's true. We would camp out in there. You can't make me leave the store.
There are so many more things to read. But Miho and Gio do end up meeting there, and Gio just confronts her again. He's like, I want to know, did we go to Hanguk High School? What's going on? Tell me about my memories. She's like, I can't do that because I need to make sure that you recover your memories. I don't want you to hate me and look at me like I'm a monster. And he's like, are you a monster? And she goes, yeah.
But I don't want you to look at me like I'm a monster.
Yeah. Because wouldn't that just be awful?
So he does end up convincing her to tell him what's going on, though.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we learn that apparently all of this is happening because Gio has asked Miho to turn everyone into monsters so that the two of them can live in a happy little utopia.
I'm pressing X to doubt.
You don't think that's true?
See, here's the thing. I'm like, he doesn't even know what the hell is going on.
But he's lost his memories.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't trust Miho at all. Like, out of the entire series, I'm conflicted with, like, everybody else.
Yeah.
But Miho, she's given me no reason to trust her.
I mean, I don't trust anyone. And I'm going to throw Gio into this. I don't trust him either. He might have done it.
He doesn't trust himself, if it makes you feel any better.
Yeah. I watched this episode of Criminal Minds. Mm-hmm. I may have made you watch this. I don't remember. But there's an episode where they are interviewing a girl, and she is telling the story about this guy who was, you know, killing all of these people, and he's so bad, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And throughout the whole story, you think, like, she was just trying to escape this situation. And you come to find out at the end that she was actually the one doing it. She was being, you know, told to do it by her boyfriend. So, like, it was her and her boyfriend kind of doing it together, but he was manipulating her. So she has ended up in, like, a psych hospital because she has just completely shut down that part of her brain of, I'm not going to remember that I did all of these awful things because I had no choice. So it could be something like that where he has just shut down, like, he didn't remember killing Yaren at first, so maybe he's just shut this down until someone confronts him with it.
Well, and you know what? Interestingly enough, like, he is so conflicted about looking at Miho like a monster.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his subconscious.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm just as much a monster as her.
Because she does say that they're partners. Mm-hmm. And we see that she tried to turn him into a monster, and her trick, her little monster thing, didn't latch on to him. It was unsuccessful, and she thinks it's defective at first, but she tries a second time, and that's when she realizes, oh, he's special. Mm-hmm. And then she decides to have everyone else turn into monsters, or he does, to protect them. But I do think that Miho is doing it for him, regardless of if he asked for it or not.
Yeah, is it just her being delusional and being like, oh, well, I mean, she doesn't like being called mother. But she's like, I'm your host, and we're going to be together forever, so everyone should protect us so we can burn the world down in the background. Who knows? I mean, she's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But she does delve further into their history. Like, she gives Gio the closure of kind of wanting to know what did happen. And you find out he was never in that coma. Like, the flower pot didn't fall on him. They did go to Hanguk High School. And he was a loner. And so, like, those memories aren't false memories. Yeah. Like, he does remember the correct stuff.
So probably his parents are monsters, and she told them to have him remember that he was in that coma, maybe. Mm-hmm. But if she wants him to remember, maybe not. I don't know.
Hard to say.
Maybe once he lost his memories, she didn't want him to remember that part, so that she made up this alternative reality until he does remember. Mm-hmm. And now she's trying to slowly break the altered memories that she added.
Yeah.
But this part is, I mean, it's sadly seems pretty typical of high school girls.
Yeah. We do find out that Yaren is not this, like, beautiful, sweet, angelic girl that her mom kind of painted her to be, which I think is typical.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody fully understands their kid at, like, a high school age. Mm-hmm. They're always going to start keeping their own little secrets and doing stuff on the side because, you know, they're growing up and learning themselves. But Yaren is, I think, a conflicted kid, to say the least. She is very jealous. Like, she sees some of her friends are more popular and kind of tries to copy them and almost wants to, like, make herself look cooler than she is.
I feel like that's just pretty typical, though. That happens a lot to a lot of kids. Yeah. You know? So what she does is not really out of the norm, where she tries to make it look like Gio is pursuing her as a romantic interest and, like, wants to ask her to go out and start dating. And he doesn't want that. But we don't know that at this point. She is trying to convince these other girls, and the other girls look in and see, oh, I actually don't think that Gio is interested in her. So, like, we should play this huge, elaborate prank on her, which, I mean, just is very sad.
Yeah, it's really gut-wrenching. Like, I think it's Mi-jeong does say, like, oh, I have a boyfriend. But she makes a comment like, I'm going to break up with my boyfriend and start going out with Gio because you're not interested in him. And Yerim's like, oh, I could try to put in a good word for you, but he doesn't like anyone except for me. So, you know, it's a lot of this back and forth. And Yerim does kind of put Gio between a rock and a hard place of being like, what's your ideal girl?
Yeah.
And she starts describing this guy who describes Gio perfectly. And he starts describing a girl who is similar to Yerim. So she's like, he likes me. Like, it's great. We're going to go out now. And he has this internal monologue of like, I don't want to date her. Like, I think she's trying to come on to me.
But maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding. If I reject her, do I lose the only person that I have that notices I'm alive at this point?
And he ultimately decides that it's kind of worth it.
Yeah. He shuts it down. He's like, I can't start a fake relationship. Like, a relationship based off of nothing, really.
Yeah. He thinks that they don't really have anything in common. They kind of have awkward conversations. Like, they're not compatible. And so he kind of shuts it down pretty quickly. And the other two girls are the ones who convinced Yerim to even go and ask.
Yeah. And so you do see that the two friends are in on it together. They're just doing it to embarrass her. And they're like, oh, did you put in a good word for Mi-jeong? And she's like, actually, no. Like, Gio and I talked about liking each other or whatever. And they're like, yeah, okay.
So she kind of digs herself into a bigger hole. And she tells the girls that he did ask her out. And they are dating now.
Yeah, you can't really get yourself out of that one.
It kind of backfires pretty quickly.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, so then they go back to school, and I don't think that we mentioned this, but we do see Miho in these flashbacks as well. We see her come to school, and she's actually kind of the same as Gio was when he first got to the school, very closed off. They have a similar intro where she just refused to talk at all in her intro. It just goes, sits down next to Gio and doesn't say anything.
Even when Gio tries to address her, she just looks at him.
Yeah. And so when Yerin comes and is trying to talk to Gio and convince him that she would like them to be in a fake relationship is what I'm guessing she's going to try and say. And Mio comes up and is like, get out of my seat.
She's like, get out of here. She's no nonsense. And Gio is really confused by her. Like, she's kind of just this enigma in general. But he ends up getting home and Miho rides the elevator up and he learns that they're next door neighbors now.
Yeah.
So his mom was like, hey, I'm going to make these treats. Take them over. Be nice and neighborly because, you know, that's how people used to do it. Don't be standoffish. And I think everybody has probably had that moment where their parents are like, branch out and be more friendly. Go talk to your neighbor. And you're like, oh, I don't want to say hi to anyone.
Oh my gosh.
So he's really reluctant.
But he does end up taking it over because he knows that if he doesn't, then he's going to get in trouble with his mom. And when he gets there, he gives her the cake. And she says, oh, I have one for you too. You have to come inside. And so he goes inside. Well, he's dragged inside.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
And this is when Miho attacks him and tries to get him to become a monster as well.
Yeah, and it's not that she's not successful. Like, she realizes the implant does go in. It just doesn't alter his state of mind.
Yeah, it's like everyone else who is turned into a monster, she can control.
Yeah, there's like a blank slate. She goes, remember your meat suit's name, like all of their memories, but you work for me now kind of a situation. And with Gio, like, she keeps doing this like monster implant. And every single time he's like, help me, I don't want to do this. He's like crawling away from her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, Oh, he's different. I like that.
You look different.
I like that in a man. Don't we all just like a strong-willed male lead? So, you know. I'm just going to start turning this into a romance.
It's officially a monster romance.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, they're both monsters.
Well,
And one of them likes the other.
And maybe the other one does like the other. He just forgot. So it's an amnesia monster romance.
Which really is up our alley.
Honestly, I'd read it.
You know, everyone's just listening to us piece together our own fan fiction.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's kind of where it leaves us off here at episode 20. It is, again, a wild ride. I didn't expect anything else, if we're being honest. But it's still keeping us on our toes. And now begs the question, did Geo genuinely kill Yirim because Miho wasn't controlling him?
Yeah.
Like, potentially isn't able to control him. So did he do this of his own will since her mind control's not working?
And then she had to cover it up.
And so is everything she's saying the truth?
Maybe she gave him amnesia.
To protect him. Because he was sad.
But she is sad that he doesn't remember. So
yeah.
She also, I mean, she looks manic crazy whenever she finds out that he's starting to remember.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, not that she doesn't look manic crazy every other moment.
That's true. I stand by this one just keeps you on your toes at all times because they never make a person look not potentially suspect.
Yeah, they all kind of look like they're a little psycho.
Yeah.
Which fits the vibe, really. So, I mean, there you have it. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us on the wild ride. I will say it again was just as creepy this 10 episodes as it was the last ones. So I hope you're reading along with us. Hope you can throw out some of your own theories. Send them to us. Always happy to have a discussion. But looking forward to talking to you all in the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.